Hi guys, welcome back to Pitch Intel, where football meets real talk. So, if you're a supporter of bold text and honest conversations, then you are definitely in the right place. Let's get right into it. Okay, so we just finished match day 1 of the 2025-2026 EPL season, and I'm here to give my honest opinion, unbiased opinion. And today I'm not here as an Arsenal fan. I'm just here as a football lover who loves the English Premier League. So I'll just give a few opinions due to what I saw, my own personal opinion. My opinion is not cast in stone, it's just what I think. You do have a right to your own opinion, and you can always add them down in the comment, and we'll have a sweet conversation about it down in the comment section as always. So what we'll start with would be the biggest game of the weekend, which was the Manchester United versus Arsenal game. So there were a couple of opinions on that game. A lot of people came by with their own swings and takes. Major highlight being the foul by Saliba on Matthew Cunha. A couple of persons have actually come out to debate that that's a foul, that would have been a penalty, that was not given. The referee was the 12th man supporting the Arsenal team. But I don't think that's the case. But to be fair and to be honest, it's a 50-50 thing. The referee can decide to give it, and the referee can decide not to give it, right? I know last season, Arsenal were victims of the most ridiculous penalties being awarded against them, right? I remember a few. One I can remember off the top of my head was when Saliba was going to knock the ball with João Pedro, now in Chelsea, against Brighton, and he hits the ball and hit João Pedro's head, and they gave a penalty. Like, you see, so once the referee did not give that on the pitch, right, the VAR does not really have a lot of wiggle room to overturn that, right? So I do feel that's a 50-50 chance. That's one. Then the second was the Saliba charge, basically, like nudging Bayanda, the Manchester United's goalkeeper, and a lot of people just came out, saying that that's supposed to be a foul as well. But it's not a foul, so you do have a lot of blame to put on PGMOL. That's their fault, because they do allow that, and Arsenal really found a way to exploit that particular situation and use it to their own advantage. So from where things stand, from where I stand, that's definitely not a foul. The keeper should definitely have been stronger, and it's because of the way the keeper came out, right? He should have gone to punch the ball instead of trying to use his fingertip. Just punch the ball. Raya had a similar experience in the second half, and he was strong enough to punch the ball out of the box. That is your area as a goalkeeper. You need to take charge. You need to control the situation, you do have a right to tell your defenders what to do, who to mark, who to stay with, right? I don't know who the late was actually marking at the far corner. Maybe because of the way Arsenal usually play their corner. So that's another take home. Arsenal has actually started a new corner strategy where they're now running in from outside, instead of clustering around the far post, right? So that's just basically part of it. Another thing I would say is that Arsenal are usually over criticized. Okay, in the last couple of years, I know they've not been able to win a trophy, main being the EPL trophy since 2004. So this is going to be 21 years now, and they've not been able to lay their hands on the EPL trophy. So that's given them a lot of criticism from the fans, from the media, everywhere. Okay, so now a lot of people really came out to Arsenal really packed the balls, they didn't play beautiful football. But thing is, Arteta has evolved over the years. He has learned the hard way and has found a way to win games. So if he has found a way to win games, trust me, not a lot of teams would be able to lead in the 13th minute and hold down the 1-0 lead till the 90th minute in the English Premier League. I can count a handful of teams. Not even Liverpool can do it. Arsenal is the only team that can do that. because they have a solid defense. They have the best defense in the league. I mean, for 2 years in a row now, they've had the best. How would you know that? It's by Raya winning back-to-back Golden Gloves. You get? So it's not rocket science. Arsenal has had the best defense, so he has found a way to win. I reckon other managers should also find a way to, get things moving, right? Another thing would be Gyökeres. He's been expected to hit the ground running straight away, right? But he needs time to settle into the league. The English Premier League is not the same as the Portuguese league. Same thing with Benjamin Sesko. He would need time to, acclimatize with the whole environment and get to know his teammates, understand what works for the team, and understand how the midfielders and the wingers play, so that he would be in better positions to, put the ball in the back of the net when need be. So I believe that one thing that Gyökeres knows how to do, that lad knows how to hit the ball hard into the back post. However it is, he knows how to hit the ball. He really plays off target. Okay, he really plays off target, so he's good. He knows what he's doing. Sesko too would come good. Ekitike has already hit the ground running for Liverpool, so that's fair game. So it will come. So they should just pipe down with the criticism. I feel that's actually a bit unfair. Right, so Manchester United are happy, the fans are happy, and I love it, because knowing where they come from a very dark place. So seeing them play the quality of football they played a few days ago at Old Trafford, I'm happy to see that, because I want that competitiveness to come back to the Manchester United dressing room, just so that they can compete. Because if you don't have a lot of teams competing, it's not going to be fun when you're competing for the league. I mean, for those competing for the league, to be fair. Because trust me, if, say, Manchester United can beat Man City, can beat Liverpool, can beat Arsenal, then it's going to be a fun race. Not when one team just sits at the top of the table and defeats every other person, and the only team trying to do something here would be maybe Arsenal or Man City or Liverpool, depending on who is on top of the league. So there should be that competition amongst the teams. So I am really happy for them. Only thing Amorim needs to do is he needs to be adaptable. He needs to try as much as possible to adapt to the game, because 3-4-3 can never win the league in England. Conte tried it once, and that was the last time it would ever happen. It's not going to happen again unless football evolves to something else. But for now, it's not going to happen again. I can beat my chest on that. Go with whatever other formation you want to go with, 4-4-2, 4-3-3, or 4-3-3 is actually what's in vogue now. So it's how you can tweak the 4-3-3 to maybe inverted defenders or midfield overloads or whatever you want to do. Just know what works for you. 3-4-3 is a mid-table formation that Brentford used and a whole lot of other teams use. Amorim should try and be adaptive and play to the player's strength, right? So next for me would be Chelsea, right? Chelsea are a good side, a decent side, and first match of the season they escaped with a draw, because if not for the foul by Guehi, Eze's free kick would have been a brilliant one, and that would have been an excellent farewell for Eberechi Eze in Crystal Palace. He was brilliant. Chelsea need experience, right? It's not mostly always about saying you have a transfer policy, you're not going to buy players under 21, 22, 23 tops, because who is going to be your Thiago Silva? Who is going to be your your experienced man? Who is going to bring leadership to the team? Not when everyone is a youngling trying to find their footing, and you are here coming up with a policy that this is my policy and this is not. It can win you tournament, like maybe if the FA Cups and the likes, and like they won the Club World Cup, but definitely not in a 38 game season. Not possible. That's not going to happen. So I believe that they need to, get a little bit of experience in there, be it 2 or 3. That would definitely be nice. Chelsea are an exciting team to watch. They're actually very exciting. They try as much as possible to, make themselves happy on the pitch of play, right? Chelsea's problem is the incessant overhauling of the team. They're making money. They buy cheap, they sell high. They buy cheap, they sell high. But I love to say that Chelsea, they're actually turning to Brighton, right? Where they are now going to be more focused on, making money and making profit. That's what they are about, trying to beat PSR and all the FFPs in place, because they're actually small boys, they're actually children, trying as much as possible to see what they can do in the grand scheme of things, because they have actually overhauled the entire front line. The only one left there for me is Neto. The other lads are all new. They're all new, so they will need time to gel. The team will need time to synchronize. So for now, they are actually not at par, because they escaped being beaten by Palace. Trust me, they actually escaped, because some referees would not cancel that Ize's free kick. The free kick was out of this world. It was an excellent free kick, but it was actually cancelled, and Chelsea were actually unable to see the back of the net as well. So from where I stand, Chelsea, they need to bolster their team with some sort of experience. You can buy talent, but talent is not enough. Always not enough. So you need experience to get in the mix, and then you'll be able to, bake something smooth and fresh out of the oven for Chelsea. Right, and now to Liverpool. Liverpool were amazing. They were brilliant. Okay, not their best. A little bit rusty as well, same as the other teams, because I always say that preseason is not always enough to get the team up to speed, especially when you have brought in fresh legs into the team. They will need to understand each other, basically. Salah did not play shit. Salah was terrible throughout the game, but Salah being Salah, he knows how to get the moment, right? And he did get his moment, and they won. Okay, Bournemouth, I think what's actually happened to Bournemouth would have won that game if they didn't sell their two best centre backs to Real Madrid and PSG, right? Dean Huijsen leaving actually left a gap, because most of the goals that Liverpool scored were actually errors and mistakes, avoidable errors from Bournemouth defense. So they could have actually done better, but they did not. And Liverpool are actually very good at taking chances when the opportunity presents itself. Gakpo is a brilliant player. I love him because he's a very direct player. He rarely shoots off target, right? He knows where he wants to put the ball anytime he hits it. Never allow Gakpo cut to his right. Once he cuts it to his right, forget it. If your keeper is good, he'll make a good save. If your defenders are great and they are wonderfully positioned, they'll be able to, put a block. Apart from that, it's a goal. Gakpo is that good. Ekitike started on a high. He's, given an assist and actually scored. So he's actually brilliant for me. He's settled in compared to the other strikers that has been signed in the EPL. So he's going to do great. I mean, it's going to be a wonderful season because there'll be loads of competitions among the teams. So let's see where things stand. Right, Semenyo. I want to talk about what happened to Semenyo, right? The racial abuse by the Liverpool fan. It is totally unacceptable across all fronts. Racism has no place in football, and it should not happen to anybody. I really love the way he responded to the racial attack by, coming in to get a brace and then silence his haters, okay? But that's not acceptable. Semenyo is a brilliant player. I sometimes feel it's a bit, he plays as though he's not interested, like sluggish kind of moves. Like, I don't know how to put it, but basically he knows how to convert when he sees the ball. I mean, some of the chances that they missed and some of the transitions that they couldn't, complete in the first half, I feel if Kluivert started the first half, he would have been able to, do something. But Semenyo really turned up, and he shut me up as well because I was criticizing him as I was watching the game, but he actually did shut me up. And that's what I really love about players that know how to, capitalize on big moments. Right, and now on to Manchester City. Okay, Reinders is going to be a big threat this season. Tijani, trust me. I've watched that guy, his movement, his passes. Look at the first goal that Haaland scored. He built up that attack. See the pass he lifted through the defense line. That was brilliant, fantastic. Okay, I feel that Guardiola has been able to, build something in the attacking front. Because I mean, what do you mean Cheki is coming in from the bench? Cheki, the youngest best player in League One last season. was being bought for how much? 23 million, I think. That was the best buy in the whole transfer market for me, because that was really cheap. That was a cheap transfer fee, and I really believe that Manchester City will be a big threat this season. Guardiola has been able to put this team together, and we'll just see where things stand, because for me, their defense has a bit of a shaky problem. This guy wants to now go to Turkey, Akanji. I heard he's in talks with Galatasaray, so let's see where things will stand with that one. So I mean, if John Stones and Diaz are able to form a defensive duo, that would really turn things around for Manchester City, because they're still open at the back. That's a guarantee at any point in time. Yeah, another thing, Guardiola has overhauled his coaching staff. And when Reinders scored the goal, he went to celebrate with one of the coaching staffs. I'm not sure what that literally meant, but yeah, it means that the new technical assistants are really bringing something new into the mix, what the other coaching crews could not do. So sometimes it's always good to bring in fresh and brilliant ideas into the mix, just to see how you can overhaul the whole mindset of the players, basically. So now on to Spurs. So with Tottenham Hotspur, they went on to start with a brilliant 3-0 win. Thomas Frank he actually impressed me by changing his formation to 4-3-3 in the last game with Burnley, and it really paid out, right? And Richarlison and Kudos have really formed a perfect partnership. They've started a perfect partnership, so I really hope it continues, because with Richarlison, I know there is something actually there in Richarlison, but he has never been on his full potential. Right from when he was at Everton, he has never really been a threat for me. But I know there is something there. There is that energy. There is that passion. He wants to be that guy, but he's not been able to achieve his full potential, if I want to put it that way. So let's see how Thomas Frank will, harness the best out of him this season. And their next game, I think, is with Manchester City. So that will be a true test of power, not with Burnley. Burnley just came in from relegation, came up from the championship rather. So let's just see how the next 2, 3, 4, 5 games would pan out. Now on to the newly promoted teams. Okay, I've watched both of the games. I've watched the Sunderland game and I've watched the Leeds game. Talking about the Leeds game, that was Monday night. Everton escaped, right? Leeds were brilliant. Leeds were actually playing as if they've been in the Prem for the past 2, 3, 4 seasons, right? I know they were in the Prem previously when Rafinha was there, and and they went back to the Championship. But what I'm trying to say is that they were really solid from the back to the midfield to the attack. The only issue here is if they are going to come out to play on the front foot with the traditional big six, they will concede goals, right? This worked out with Everton because Everton know how to sit deep and counter, but that didn't really work out. Jack Grealish came in and couldn't do anything. He was really lost in the game. Neto was lost up front. I mean, the whole team was in total disarray. I'm not sure what David Moyes did with the team there that made them play that terribly. That's not the Everton we saw at the end of last season. I really hope that he puts 2, 3, 4 tweaks in there just to overhaul the entire architecture of the team, just to change their mindset, because that was really terrible from them. Trust me, if you watch the game, put it down in the comment, because I was mad. I was really disgusted with the way Everton were playing. That was really terrible coming from them. And Sunderland impressed me. 3-0 against West Ham, right? They totally dominated the West Ham team. West Ham were like a shadow of themselves. They did not know what they were doing. They were totally useless, if that's the word for it. Tottenham were impressive, bringing Xhaka in. They've bought a whole lot of players so far. I think they've spent over 170 million so far in the transfer window, so that they're putting a whole new structure in place, that they're trying as much as possible to see that history will not repeat itself, because for the past 2 seasons, all the teams have been coming out of the Championship. The 3 teams that come out usually go back down, right? The last time was 2022-2023 season, if that serves me right, when we had Bournemouth, we had Fulham, I think we had Forest, right? We had Forest. So they came in and they've been able to stay. Okay, so Leicester has come and they've gone. I mean, other teams have come and they've gone as well. Ipswich came and they've gone back. So let's just see where things will stand with this one, because I'm seeing a whole lot of, you know, prospects with Leeds and with Sunderland. Not sure about Burnley. I would need to see 2-3 more games, because I mean, I can't really judge them because they play Tottenham, which is actually a superior team. I want to see where they stand in the next 2-3 games. Then I'll be able to, you know, give a conclusive point of view on how they play and if they're likely going to succeed or not. So these are just my own, you know, highlights from the weekend games match day 1. Hopefully it gets more intense and more interesting, and we'll have loads of talking points. So down the week, I'm going to give a preview of the big games coming up during the weekend. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.